all the sports teams that exist. Certain countries have a big one or two, but we're proud to say our podcast is about the biggest team in the entire world.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Yeah! This is the World's Team Podcast. All about the world's team, the Dallas Cowboys, baby. We're here to redefine what it means to be a fan of the gridiron game. It's not just America's team anymore. Nope. We're taking that star-studded pride and spreading it across the globe. Each week, we dive into all things Cowboys. From game analysis that'll have you on the edge of your seat, to reactions and all the latest news. Whether it's free agency frenzy, draft day drama, or injury reports that make us want to hug our lucky jerseys a little tighter. We're bringing in fan groups from all over the place, from Germany, France, Brazil, the UK, Canada, Japan. Everybody gets to share their 2 cents on America's favorite team.
Here we go!
America's team! Mexico's team! World's team! My Dallas Cowboys!
And now your hosts, Paul Stewart and Mike Poland.
And we're back. I know it's, we might as well thought we just come back, go live again, and actually talk about the actual official schedule now. So, but welcome back to the World's Team, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just America's team, it is the World's Team. And as our introduction concluded this year, I'm joined by my co-host, Mike Poland.
Yeah, how are we? I know it's only been a few minutes since we spoke last, our Scottish Claymore, so doing all right.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah. Not too bad at all. Nice. Yeah, it's just waiting for this intro to kind of die down a little bit. I didn't realize how loud it was there. But yes, the NFL schedule for the Dallas Cowboys is now officially out. It's probably going all over Twitter space and Instagram right now. We have just tweeted it right now and posted it on Instagram, so you can go check it out. But also, if you're watching this live, we will reveal you the full schedule, dates, and times of the games. So without further ado, here is your 2024 NFL Dallas Cowboys schedule. So here we are. So, Mike, do you want to kind of run through the pecking order here?
Yeah, so, I mean, we spoke about the Cleveland Browns game is the game that kicks everything off. I know we spoke about it. I'm a fan of the idea of making a big weekend deal of all of it. So you've got, I know it's an early kickoff or an afternoon kickoff, but you get to have the weekend of going to the Pro Bowl Hall of Fame. So that's good. The next one, so the home opener, which is against the Saints. Now that is an early kickoff. So I don't know. I don't know what you make of that. For us, it's a bit different here in the UK because that's a 6:00 kickoff in the afternoon. But I know over, obviously, in the States, 12 o'clock home opener. It's a bit of a kick in the pants. Big one, Baltimore Ravens in week 3. That's a big deal because obviously you're getting a cold weather game early in the year, which is good. Mm-hmm. Giants, that is the next away game, followed by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are both. So we were speaking about this offline. Is that they play the Ravens on the Sunday. 4 days later, they play again then against the Giants, which is on Prime. So a little bit of a short week there. The Steelers then.
Well, I do apologize. I've typed in Stellars, so my spelling mistake when it comes to doing that graphic. So, but yes, it is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. No, you're all right. You were drinking Stella when you were doing it. That's why, mate. So then, yeah, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is obviously a late game then on the Sunday. Detroit Lions at home, followed by a bye. And I think the bye is really important because following the bye is an away game to the San Francisco 49ers. So it's a revenge game there. Uh, so again, that's a late kickoff, 7:20 p.m. The next is another away games. A lot of away games in a row there. If you have a look, so you've got in the space of 5 games, 4 of them are away. So then you got Atlanta Falcons, which is an early kickoff on Sunday. Then it's the Eagles. Now we get into it. So the Eagles are at home, 3 p.m. or 3:25 kickoff, followed by the Houston Texans, which you're going to go to, Paul.
Yes, that's the game I'm planning going to. So we're at home against the Eagles in that one. Yes,
And that is a Monday game as well, Paul.
Yeah, for the Texans game, yeah, that's a Monday night football. So, but yeah, I'm not particularly thrilled about it because I was kind of hoping to have a better tailgate experience, like last time at home against the Texans. The tailgate was fantastic, but I think with Monday Night Football, you would tend to think it's not going to be as lively because it's during the weekday. So,
yeah.
But other than that, I'm still going to make the most of it. So,
yeah. But the Houston Texans, they begin the run of those short time games, but it's the short interval between each game. So on the November the 18th, they play the Texans. Then on the 24th, it's at Washington Commanders. And then it's Thanksgiving on the 28th. So in the space of 10 days, they play 3 games with the New York Giants on Thanksgiving. I know me and you were speaking off air, Paul, about this. But, I mean, like, how do you prepare? Do you know what I mean? We was talking about this. How do you prepare for 3 different teams in the space of 10 days? You've got 3 days to prepare for each game.
Yeah, pretty much. It's something where we've done it well. We've done it in the past, but I don't know, man. Like 2 of them against what divisional rivals. Like so, it's well. In saying that, it's actually 3 rivals. You've got the Battle of Texas, then you've got the 2 NFC East games in a row.
Yeah.
And not to mention, you're actually traveling away, then coming back home 3 days later. So it's going to be that Giants game is actually going to be tough for Thanksgiving. I think.
And you think of some of the rookies that the Giants have drafted as well. You know, I'm thinking safety, wide receiver. So you know what I'm talking about there. Like by the time they hit this end of the season, they kind of be getting into a groove, which makes things a bit scarier. But yeah, after that, they do get a bit of a break, thank goodness. And then it's the Cincinnati Bengals at home, which is a late kickoff as well, 7:15 kickoff Central Time. Then they move over to the Carolina Panthers for the penultimate away game. Then it's Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. Then we talked about the date of the Philadelphia Eagles game, which is the 29th of December. So that's going to be a harsh environment to play in. It's going to be the dead of cold. It's going to be freezing. It's a 3:25 p.m. kickoff as well. Yeah, gets a bit frosty over there at Christmas time, Paul.
Oh yeah, that's going to to me. That's going to be the hardest game, I think. If I'm being perfectly honest, like
I agree.
Like after Christmas, you're going to Philadelphia in the freezing cold.
Yeah,
arguably our toughest rivals in our division. And yeah, so it's hard to kind of put like who's the favorite for that game yet, like because obviously the season's not started yet. It's so early on yet. Like we still don't know what our squad is actually going to look like. I know we've had like a not so great off season when it comes to recruitment and stuff like that, but in terms of what we've done in the draft, I think there is that slight optimism there, but we just need to wait and see how training camp goes. We've also got the preseason games as well, to be honest. We've actually got those announced, but I'll announce those just shortly once we've got, if you want to just like go through the rest of the games there, Mike.
Yeah, and then obviously the last game then is Washington. So that we don't know. It's the last game of the season. They flex around and they mess about a little bit. So we're wondering if that's going to be home or away. So it turns out it's home. So that's an important factor there because, as we mentioned, FedEx Field can get mightily chewed up, especially as you get towards the end of the season, which causes injuries.
And no disrespect to Washington, their stadium's not exactly in the best of conditions. So,
No,
but
that's true.
yes, yeah. But as we're back here on the World's Team, we do have the preseason games available as well. So on Sunday, August the 11th, we are going to be playing the LA Rams at 3:25 p.m. Central Time. So just remember as well, wherever you're watching, wherever you are in the world, all those times that Mike outlined from the graphic there, that's based on Central Time. So
Yeah.
for all your 12 p.m. kickoffs, it's going to be 6 p.m. in the UK, etc. But going back to the preseason on Saturday, August 17th, it's going to be the Las Vegas Raiders at 9 p.m. Central Time. That's not going to be a fun one for us to watch. So that's going to be what 1 a.m.
What was the kickoff at Central Time?
9 p.m. Central Time.
Oh,
No, that'll be
Jesus.
3 o'clock in the morning, actually. 3
Yeah,
a.m.
3 a.m. Yeah.
Oh, so if you're in Europe, it's going to be 4 a.m. So, and finally,
literally having your cereal and watching a game.
yeah, absolutely. And finally, you've got Saturday, August 24th against the Los Angeles Chargers. So we're playing both LA teams in the preseason, and that game is at 3 p.m. Central Time, and that's at home. So the first two games against the LA Rams and the Las Vegas Raiders, that's away. So there you have it. But yeah, I'm not going to lie, Mike, the schedule is actually not so bad in terms of how it's been arranged. We're not getting hit after hit after hit like in a cluster of games. Like we're not getting we're not getting San Francisco, Philadelphia away in a row or anything like that. It's been spread out quite evenly based on the data, in terms of the power rankings and stuff like that. So, but yeah. But guys,
and the cold weather, it's the cold climate games I always look at. When you get to November, who are you playing? And when you look at the majority of them, they're all like Florida teams or okay, Carolina is another one. So you kind of you think, okay, it's not so bad. And I think a big one as well is where the bye week lands right before the 49ers.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we do move on, we'll just play let our sponsor get onto the show. But yeah, we'll be back in a few moments.
The World's Team Podcast is brought to you by Cowboys Experience, the ultimate Cowboys experience with stadium tours, meet and greets, tailgating, game tickets, and much more. For more information, please go to www.cowboysexperience.com.
But yes, be sure to go and check out cowboysexperience.com and let them know that we sent you over their direction from the World's Team. But yes, I don't know, Mike. I know it's way too early to say, but what would your estimates in terms of game by game? Is it going to be a win or a loss?
Oh, okay.
Right, so let me bring up the chart back up again of the games. All right.
Yeah.
So and I do apologize for the spelling on this. I will need to outline this. It's 1 a.m. here where I'm from right now, from Scotland. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and we're surviving on fumes right now. Trying to get up to date with a 6-hour time difference back in Dallas. So try to get all the information available for you guys. But yes, so hit me with it, Mike. Cleveland Browns.
See, now, in years past, I would have been like, yeah, that's a win. At home, on the opener, so they've got plenty of time to prepare. I mean, I'm not so sure. This one, do you know what? I'm gonna say that they lose to the Cleveland Browns.
Oh God!
Honestly,
oh no!
Yeah, I know.
Oh no!
But their first home game they win.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Right. So just for, like this for clips here. So you're saying the Cowboys are going to lose the Cleveland Browns?
Only because it's Cleveland at home and they've got plenty of time to prepare for us.
Well, I'll give them one bit of credit. Their social media has been kicking off pretty clever. Like they're mocking us using Stephen A. Smith and all that type of stuff. So fair play. Like,
Yeah.
but for me, I still think we should be able to beat the Browns in their own territory.
I want to say that.
The only reason I'm saying that because I just don't think Deshaun Watson is the quarterback they once had. Well, who once was. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Because ever since the whole, not going into deep conversation about the incident back at Houston, then getting traded to Cleveland, it's just been an absolute disaster for Cleveland in terms of that. And I just don't think he's going to get back up to the point where he was in contention of Player of the Year when he was back at Houston. So I don't see it happening. But going back to the schedule again, the New Orleans Saints.
I see that being a win.
Yeah, and that will be a 12 p.m. kickoff, and I totally agree with you. So you're 1-1 right now. I'm going for 2-0.
Yeah, Ravens.
Right. This is the tough one. For me, Baltimore. I need to say loss. I need to be realistic here. Yeah, I'm going to say a loss.
I think they've got enough going on to be able to mitigate, like certain things, like say for instance, like Micah Parsons' pass rush, and how the linebacker core is going to shift around, try and mobilize on what they do. I think the Ravens can do enough to work around all of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and look at the weapons they've brought in recent years as well from the draft. So I'm quite anxious, and not to mention, isn't Baltimore the team that brought in Derrick Henry?
Did they? Yeah, no, they did. You're right. Yeah.
So we need that to deal with. So that's going to be a tough job for like some Mazzy Smith, the interior defensive line, Micah Parsons. That's going to be a tough game. So I definitely going to say a loss in that one. So away to the New York Jets on week 4.
New York Giants.
What did I say?
Jets.
Did I? Oh my God.
Yeah, you're all right. I do it all the time too.
Oh God, right. Yeah. New York. I almost said it again. The New York Giants. Oh my God. It just
that's a win.
Up. Yeah, that's a win, right? We don't even need to debate this one, right?
Yeah, that one's easy.
Right. Pittsburgh Steelers, or Steelers, as it's been pronounced in my graphic.
That, by the way, is what they're going to be called from now on, just so you know.
Yeah, the Steelers. I could do with a glass of Stella, to be honest.
I would send me to sleep right now.
Yeah, I know. But yes, the Steelers game. I think it's going to be a win. Like they've brought in like Russell Wilson. They've also like got what's the other quarterback? Justin Fields is the back essentially.
Yeah.
Whether they can turn around time and actually make them get up to speed and get them in that competitive state again, I don't think so.
There's too much going on there.
Too many moving parts. It's just not going to click, I don't think.
Yeah.
So, and not just that, like last time we played in Heinz Field or whatever it's called now, like that was the game where Zeke completely went ballistic. That was like what, 8 seasons ago?
Yeah, and I think that's like seared into Cowboys fans' minds because that's just like a massive highlight.
It really was, yeah. So far I'm going for 3-1. No, sorry, 4-1. And you're and you're 3-2.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Just to make sure I'm keeping track here. The Detroit Lions.
So this is a revenge game.
Yeah, I'm particularly worried about this one, if I'm being honest.
That's a toughie. Yeah, and I agree with you. So it's at home, first of all, right?
Yep.
So that's a big bonus to the Cowboys in this particular game, especially with the way how last season, the way that game kind of ended and went. So there's a lot of people wanting to try and prove themselves and say, no, we were the better team. And I think they're going to overreach and they will try and overplay the game in terms of trying to create a revenge. So I think the Cowboys win that game just by being fundamentally sound.
Yeah. Kind of going back to the schedule again.
Yeah.
We've got our bye week. Then it's the big one on week 8. San Francisco 49ers at Levi Stadium. Loss. I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm going to say loss.
I'm with you.
I think with what San Francisco seem to do, they seem to kind of maintain their consistency quite well over the course of the years. They've seemed to build that consistency year after year after year.
Yeah.
So I'm particularly worried about this game. They've brought in the wide receiver from Florida in their draft as well. Obviously, they've got McCaffrey. They've Addison. Sorry?
I said that's the one. You just say McCaffrey and you go, there you go.
Yeah, so...
And you think as well, right, Paul? The Cowboys have done a lot this season. Well, I wouldn't say they've done a lot. They have tried to address the run defense. Have they done enough to stop a guy like McCaffrey, but McCaffrey on a Shanahan run offense with the way that they...
That's that's what we just don't know the answer to that. I mean, then again, we're just taking rough guesses here, but at this moment in time, I think it's going to be a loss to San Francisco. But so just kind of see if we can reevaluate this again. So we said loss to the Lions. We said loss to the 49ers. So win, loss, win, loss. 4-3. No.
That's where I'm at, yeah.
Yeah, 4 or am I 3-4?
I think you might be 5-2 because you said the Browns is a win.
Yes, yeah. I'm 5-2. No, I said the Lions were going to lose. So that's.
Did you? Oh, right. So we flipped on that one.
So you're 3-4 and I'm 4-3.
No, I'm 4-3 as well.
Are you?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I got 4 wins. My 4 wins so far are the Saints, the Giants, the Steelers, and the Lions.
All right, so hold on.
We're the same. We've just flipped on the Cleveland Browns and the Detroit Lions in the win-loss column.
Right, got you. So we're back to even Steven, right? Okay, so after that, right, so we're now on to week 9, the Atlanta Falcons.
That's a win.
That's a win.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins.
Is it Kirk Cousins, though?
Is it going to be Kirk Cousins? We don't know. Let's be honest here. The Atlanta Falcons had an absolute stinker of a draft.
Oh, it's terrible.
It was terrible.
I did a draft review. I've written it up. And what you see in that draft is just a team chasing his tail. That they make that move in the first. And it's a perfect example. If you ever want to say to somebody how draft sequencing works, just go look at the Falcons, how they drafted in 2024. That's draft sequencing gone wrong.
Yeah. But before we do move on, though, I just want to mention to everyone that's watching right now, if you're watching on Twitch, be sure to go and hit us up on YouTube as well. We are currently streaming on that as well, and we love to kind of build up the community and build up the audience for that as well. So be sure to go on to YouTube and just go to @TheWorldsTeam on YouTube, and there's all of our social medias as well for Instagram, and obviously you're watching here through Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. But yes, also going back to the schedule again, after that it's at home against the Eagles. I'm going to say win. I'm going to say win. I don't care. I freaking hate that team with a passion. I'm sorry. I refuse. if we're playing away to the Eagles, then obviously I will be more realistic. But this is where my head is so far up my backside. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to say win no matter what.
I think they
So-
split games. I think they split games this year, but I think they split in terms of home. The home
Yeah.
loss, especially when you think where they play the Eagles later in the
Absolutely.
season at home. Yeah, but yeah, I'm saying this is a win as well.
Yep. Okay. Houston Texans. See, I really want to say win. I really, really do.
Mhm.
But given the fact what they've done in the past 2 years in the draft, and look how much CJ Stroud did with the minimum amount of weapons he had,
Yeah.
and now he's got Stephon Diggs there, and Tank Dell is going into his second season. I'm pretty worried about this game, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm pretty worried. So, as much as it pains me to say this, I'm going to say loss.
Mhm.
It pains me to say this because let's be honest, the last time the Texans played us back at home, which was a couple of seasons ago, a game I was at also, we never showed up until the fourth
No.
quarter.
Yeah,
Like, we were lucky to win that game.
very.
Very lucky. So now that the Texans have now got their franchise quarterback, and I'll be honest, he's pretty good. CJ Stroud is a good quarterback. You cannot dismiss that. Now you've got a high quality wide receiver in Stephon Diggs now, and you've got likes of Tank Dell coming up. They've also added some more firepower to their running backs, and they've added more defensive weapons as well. So I'd be quite worried. I'm really worried about this game.
I get it. I do get what you're saying. 100%. Here's what I'm gonna say: the Cowboys are gonna win this game, and I tell you why. I agree with everything.
Hit me with it. Hit me
I
with it.
agree with everything that you say, but CJ Stroud is gonna hit a sophomore slump.
We'll just need to wait and see, mate. We just need to wait and see.
Yeah. CJ Stroud hits a sophomore slump. You've got Trayvon Diggs and Ron Bland playing together. Both of those guys have led the league in interceptions in different seasons. So you create a bit of pressure up front. I know what you're saying with the weapons and what they've added. It is incredible. But I just think that there's going to be mistakes made that go in the Cowboys' favor. That's accusing them the win.
Okay. So I'm saying loss, you're saying win. Okay. Right. Have you been keeping note of the records right now?
Mine I have. Yours is your one loss than me. So I'm 7-6-3. You're 5-4.
5-4. So we're still on a winning record at this moment, right? Okay. All right. After the Texans, we're away to Washington, and let's just say I can't really say nice things about the stadium. I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, we're off to the Commanders or whatever they want to be called nowadays, essentially.
I'm going win.
Yeah,
I am.
I'm like I don't care if Dan Quinn's their head coach anymore.
Yeah.
The fact is he's basically taking our backups and paying them mega money for. Like I just don't and is it Jaden Daniels, the quarterback?
Yes.
So it's a rookie quarterback. You just don't know how he's going to develop with the weapons that he's got there. So I just don't see them making a big leap to what I know they're in a rebuild stage. Well, technically still as of right now until
they are,
but I just don't see them elevating up to dismantle us. But who knows? But I'm going to say win for the Cowboys in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on a win there.
All right, so over back to home for Thanksgiving. The New York Giants. 3 times in the past 7 years we've played the New York Giants at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
So the Giants, they add Neighbors, which I mean that guy is He is a talent. They add Tyler Newbin, safety. So they get like one of the best wide receivers, probably one of the best safeties in this year's draft. And add that. But here's their downfall. They still have Daniel Jones.
Yep. Win for the Cowboys. I don't even need to say anything else in that matter, to be honest with you, Mike.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, bro. 100%.
All right. So where are we at now with the records?
I'm on 9 wins. You're on 8.
Okay. Right. After New York, we're back at home again on Monday Night Football again against the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm not sure about this one, if I'm being honest. We just don't know what state Joe Burrow's going to be in. Is he going to be fit? Like,
is his offensive line held up?
No, you don't. Yeah, there's a lot more question marks with the Bengals compared to the Dallas Cowboys right now.
Yeah.
Like, if the Bengals had everyone fit and healthy, then yeah, I think they could actually cause a bit of damage to us. But I just don't see it happening. So I'm just edging the Cowboys to win. Just.
Yeah. I think the Cowboys will win. Generally, the Bengals, I'm just having a look at last year.
And not to mention as well, like Summer used to be the DC for the Bengals, even though we don't know what, I can't remember what the defensive scheme for the Bengals is right now, but I'm pretty sure, like, with him knowing, like, the ins and outs of Cincinnati, someone might know Finito about the defense and actually get the inside scope. Who knows? But I may be talking out my backside here. But...
No. And I'm looking at the Bengals last season, right, Paul? 8 losses last season. 5 of them come on the road.
Oh, interesting. All right, okay. That's a good statistic now. Okay, so we're both seeing win for the Bengals. No, win against the Bengals. Not for them.
Win with the Bengals, whatever you want to say. But yeah, the Cowboys beat the Bengals.
Yeah. Then after that, I'm not even going to entertain this one. At Carolina, it's going to be a win. I'm sorry. Like, Carolina, like, I just don't understand, like, how they've fallen so badly in the past couple of years. And I don't think, is it Bryce Young, the quarterback?
Yeah.
I don't think he's really going to develop there, if I'm being perfectly honest. Well, especially if they're changing coaches nearly every 2 seasons. How's he going to develop?
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's going to be a win. Tampa Bay at home. This could be...
this is the wild card for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think with how well they did at the last part of the last season and how they did well going into the playoffs, I'm going to say loss. I'm going to say it. Like, they still got good. Still got Goodwin. They still got Mike Evans. Like, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. This Baker Mayfield's the quarterback, but he's still, like, he does the job.
Yeah, it's like this is just such a toughie. And I mean, the bit that there's the real kick in the pants that's that Cowboy fans are gonna hate. Tampa Bay drafted Graham Barton, and a lot of Cowboys fans, like you and me, we wanted Barton, and we're gonna see him on the other side. Plus, they did try and restock that defensive line, and the defensive line for Tampa Bay has generally been like that's been part of their identity. Yeah. So that they rebuilt that with Chris Braswell, the edge defender, the defensive end from Alabama. So you're going to have that to contend with as well. Like you say, Mike Evans, he's a steady ship. Always has been from his days from Texas A&M, all the way up until now. I mean, the guy just keeps churning out no matter what. He does well there. So this one for me, Tampa Bay game this one literally is. It is purely dependent on where the teams are in terms of durability. Who has the healthiest roster going into that game?
Absolutely. Next one, we've got the game I'm dreading the most, to be honest. Philadelphia away. I'm not gonna lie, Mike. I think this is going to be the toughest game of the year. But based on how Philadelphia are at home mostly, unless it's going to be like last year, they had the ultimate come down. I mean, that was going to be one of the most embarrassing come downs of any team in NFL history. Like,
the way that they just imploded.
What was it, like 6 games in a row they lost or something like that?
Either 6 or 7, and they just completely fell off. They just could not put it together.
They literally gifted us the NFC Championship, NFC East Championship.
No, they didn't.
Thank you, Heroes. But I guess, even though we didn't do well in the playoffs, but yeah, will that be a repeat of last year? I don't think so. Like, there's a thing with Sirianni's on the hot seat because of that. I don't think he's willing to make that mistake twice. So,
yeah.
So I'm going to say loss to the Eagles away from home.
Did you say a loss for Tampa Bay as well?
Yeah, 2 losses.
Ooh, see, 2 losses at the end of the season. Do you know what I mean? If it's close in the NFC East, that is going to close the gap. And then that makes this last game against Washington all the more important then.
I agree. And obviously, Washington at home, that's a win.
Yeah, I agree too.
Like, and I don't think if it's based on what I'm thinking and how the Eagles might be doing, I don't think there'll be any room to rest your starters or anything like that.
Yeah, if it's going this way, like if you've just lost to Tampa and the Eagles, then you think that's closed the gap on like when you're at the business end of the season. So that all of a sudden now this last game of the season again. So it's probably like how I foresee this. The Cowboys and the Eagles are probably making the playoffs at this stage. What they're doing now is they're jostling for seeding. And like this is the game that depends whether you're playing the 3rd seed or the 7th seed.
Yeah, definitely. But I think we've pretty much covered everything there. But Mike, summarize what we did for our tips or our records there then, because so what was your season record there and based on your predictions?
12 wins I've got. Another 12-win season.
So 12-5.
Yeah. And you're 11-6. And what's funny is that there's a couple of those games that could literally swing either way. But I think 12 or 11 wins is about what you want them to be at.
Yeah, I can definitely just kind of again, it's very early projections here.
Of course, yeah.
Like no training camp, there's been no injuries or anything like that. Like we're going to wear a clean slate, and based on how other teams have drafted and off-season stuff like that, like it could be a 8-9 or 9-8 or 10-6 or 10-7. It could be one of those seasons as well, and you could still win the division based on that. Who knows? But
well, if you think like we're saying that the Giants are closing the gap a little bit slightly, then you think they're going to have to take some games from somewhere. Where are they getting those games from? So it's probably going to be a division rival.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll end on that note. So like I said, I will redisplay the schedule once again for your viewing pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. And but again, please be sure to go and check us out on YouTube as well and hit the subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world. No pun intended. But yeah, so here is your schedule once more. So you've got Cleveland, New Orleans, Baltimore, New York, Steelers, then the Lions for the first part of the season. Then on week 7, it's the bye week. Then it's the big game on week 8 against San Francisco. Then on the road again to the Atlanta. At home against the Eagles. Then on Monday Night Football is against the Texans. Away to the Washington Commanders the following Sunday. And at Thanksgiving, it's the New York Giants. Then it's the Cincinnati Bengals at home. Then away to the Panthers. Back at home against the Buccaneers. Away to those pesky Eagles. Then back at home for the final game of the regular season against Washington. And there we have it. But yes, but please tell everyone where everyone can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at Kenfig Cowboy on Twitter or Blogging the Boys or on with the first pick doing draft reviews and scouting reports. But what about yourself, Paul?
You can follow me at I am Stu on Instagram and Twitter, and also be sure to go and check out our socials as well. We've got the worlds.team on Instagram, the worlds team, well, with underscores in there on X, and the worlds team on YouTube. And also we will be on Spotify and Apple Music as well, so be sure to find us on that if you want to download the audio from this show. And like I said, we're going to be recording every Saturday from this moment going forward, so we're planning to be 12 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. European time, and I believe it's 1 p.m. Eastern time back in the States, and
5 hours,
yeah, I believe so. So just try to give you a time. So I will post on Twitter and Instagram about the times when we're going to be going live, so you will not be missing a beat. So and be sure to be, if you click on YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be more alerted when we're going live as well. But with that note, just remember, folks, it's not just America's team, it is the world's team.
You've been listening to the World's Team Podcast. There's no other team like it in the world. Nothing more electrifying than the Dallas Cowboys. And we're here to prove it. We bring in fan groups from Germany, France, Brazil, the UK, Canada, Japan. We're everywhere, baby. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on Instagram at the.worlds.team, on Twitter at the_worlds_team, and on YouTube at the Worlds Team. How about them Cowboys?
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
See you next time.